Guys, this 10x event is actually really good. But there are a number of reasons why you should or shouldn't go for it. And I do want to talk to you about it, so let's dive right into it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We have a 10x event for this weekend along with a guaranteed summon event with the voice shards. Now for the voice shards, you're going to summon 40 voice shards and you'll get a guaranteed Akemtum, which is basically an epic champion from, I believe it's the Skinwalkers. It was the cat. Yeah, this guy. So this guy will be guaranteed in the voice summoning event after you summon your 40th voice shard. If you don't pull him, by the time you pull your 40th voice shard, you'll get this guy for free, basically, right? This champion is actually pretty solid. He's got a triple hitter on the A1 and the A2, and he does a lot of damage. He does the poison damage. He also has a speed aura here, and overall, this guy's a beast in clan boss. He is really strong there in that DPS position, and even against, I guess even against like Dragon, that would be pretty solid there too. So this guy is pretty solid, and I don't want to say this guy is absolutely worth summoning for, because there are other options out there like a rare champion like Frozen Banshee if you're just looking for that DPS spot for a clan boss or whatnot, but this guy is pretty solid in general. So I want to talk about the tennis champions now. I'm saying that this event is really good because of the quality of champions in there, but there's one particular thing that really stuck out to me that made me say, okay, this is actually really worth summoning for. All right, so before we get to this, let's real quick, I do want to talk about the 10x summoning event. 10x summoning event, you have a 10 times chance of summoning a legendary once you hit legendary. So that doesn't mean you have a 10 times chance automatically of summoning legendaries in general. Whatever banner characters available at the time, which is going to be these lists of 10x champions, you're going to have a 10x chance of pulling that champion once you hit epic or once you hit legendary. So the rates are going to be the same as if there was no event going on. At 0.5% chance, you have a chance of getting a legendary, and a 6% chance of getting legendary from sacred shards, and then an 8% chance of getting an epic from ancient shards and void shards, etc. So the rates are the same as it normally is. It's just the 10 times is once you hit epic, once you hit legend, or once you hit legendary, then you have a 10 times chance of summoning that champion. So the rates aren't always going to be like amazing, even though it is a 10x event for that particular champion, because there's so many legendaries in the pool, particularly when it comes to ancient shards and sacred shards. But when it comes to void shards, you actually have a pretty solid shot at getting that specific champion that's in the 10x, particularly when it comes to legendary or even the epic champion, because the pool is a lot smaller than the sacred and ancient shard pool. So with that being said, for the first champion here in the 10x listing, we have Riho from the void shards, who is a very solid support champion. She, in the past, there were times where you can just have her on defense by herself, and she just stays alive forever because she just keeps healing herself over and over. She has cleanse, and she has a really cool ability here on the A2 as well. She does a lot of things at once, but it's on a single target. Plays a stun as well as HP burn, decreased defense, HP weaken, decrease attack, decrease crit rate for 2 turns, and attacks the target. So it's a lot of debuffs in one ability. It was really solid even against the Iron Twins, right? But she is very great. She does a lot of heals, is really amazing for faction wars for sure, but she's a really nice champion in general, and she's gonna help a lot in progression as well. But honestly, I wouldn't say that this champion is absolutely worth summoning for, especially if you're close to Mercy. If you're close to Mercy, I think saving for someone of a much higher quality, like a Yumiko or a Warlord or Krisk or something like that, depending on what you need help with or what you're trying to do. Because Krisk is actually amazing in PvE, right? But I wouldn't say Riho is absolutely what you want to summon for if you're close to Mercy. So that's something to keep in mind. Over to the next champion here, we have Duchess, who is arguably the best champion in the game. Duchess is so good. We have Revive, we have the Veil, we have the increased attack, the block debuffs, and yeah, she's fantastic. She even puts a shield up on one of your allies with the lowest HP when she attacks with the A1. She's so good, and she also reduces the damage taken from AoE attacks, right? And she's also got the speed aura. She's so good. It's like arguably the best support champion in the game. You could take her everywhere. You could PvP, PvE, like literally everywhere. She's great. So this is the one champion that I want to pull more copies of. Unfortunately, I've only pulled one of her, and I know there's a lot of you out there that haven't even pulled her yet, so that's not even fair for me to say, oh, I want more. Like, you know, it's just, I do want more though, you know, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I only have one of her, but I don't know if I'll be able to summon for this event here, because as much as I do want her, if she was by herself, I'd be going all in with all my gems right now. But because there are other two champions in this pool, which is the Brogne that we're going to talk about now. Now, Brogne is amazing PvE champion. He is so good. I mean, anybody that can pull him early game is going to be flying. And even like if you're mid game or whatever, he's so good in clan boss. He's so good in many areas in the game. Hydra boss, even. He's really great. He's got the HP burn. He's got the cleanse. He's also got a massive shield he puts up, and along with the block debuff. So he's gonna be doing a lot for you in PvE wise. So he's really great. He's also got the reflect damage as well. Basically anybody that's under their shield. So he's really good. But for me on my main account, I already have multiple copies of him. That's why I'm not really leaning towards pulling for him per se. But for anybody that doesn't have him, that's interested in a champion like this, or even Duchess, I would say this is definitely, if you're close to Mercy, if you need a champion like this or Duchess, it could be really worth going for. Now, over to the third champion here, Alva, who's actually part of a guaranteed event not too long ago, I believe. Yeah, I think she was part of a guaranteed event, right? And I actually skipped out on her because in my position on my main account, I didn't really feel the need to go for her. As soon as Iron Twins came out though, I was like, oh man, I wish I did pull it, because she was pretty great there as well. But there's a lot of faster teams nowadays. But she is a great support champion. She's actually, I would say she's probably arguably one of the best Sylvan Watcher champions at the moment as far as legendaries goes, because she brings a lot to the table, and she reminds me of a Seal of the Drakes. That's a cleanser. So basically, she's a Seal of the Drakes that can cleanse and also puts a block debuff instead of doing the AoE stun. So that's kind of how I look at it. But she does a lot of heals, very similar to the Seal of the Drakes. And again, more heals there. And yeah, she revives as well, just very similar to a Seal. So I would say she is a solid champion. She's going to help you in faction wars. She's great. She's definitely great. But again, for my position on my main account, I'm not really too interested in pulling for her, to be honest. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll summon some of my shards just to see, because I gotta pull anyways for the summon event, right? And we'll see what happens. But now this is what I want to talk about. This is the reason why I say this event it could be really absolutely worth pulling for, because there is one void epic champion in this pool, or in this 10x listing, and that's going to be Maneater. So a lot of you out there that are trying to get to Ultra Nightmare, Maneater is, I would say he's like the easiest bridge for you to get to Ultra Nightmare, because you get one of this guy, or if you get two, that's just instant, right? If you get one of this guy, and then you have other champions to go along with them, you can build an unkillable composition. And a lot of you might say, wow, why would you want to build an unkillable composition? That's cheesy. It's not, you know, I'm not doing that. But the thing is, guys, I think unkillable compositions are really good, because it frees up a lot of your other champions. Let's say like you have you have another team that you're using like on my free-to-play account, I'm using a Cardial on my unkillable team, but I don't have a Maneater there. I do have a Demetha and other champions there, but I don't want to use my Cardial in that spot, because I want to use him for arena more in other parts of the game, because he's my main damage dealer one of my main damage dealers in my clan boss team on my free-to-play account. But I'm holding out to pull for one more Maneater so I can build a super cheesy unkillable team for Ultra Nightmare. So on my free-to-play account, I think I'm definitely going to pull for the Maneater, because this pool, when it comes to epics, is a lot smaller than what it is in Ancient Shards and Sacred Shards, right? So it's not going to be a guaranteed once you hit epic you'll get a Maneater. No, you have a decent shot, I would say. It's not going to be like more than a 50% shot or anything by that means, but it's still a decent shot. And I feel like this Maneater, the second Maneater, if I can get it, then I'll just completely free up my Cardial, and I can just do way more on my free-to-play account. on my main account, obviously, I already have an unkillable team. I have 2 Maneaters, of course. But yeah, for people that are trying to really close to getting to the Ultra Nightmare phase, then I think this is worth it, because you're not gonna see another a 10x Maneater event for a really long time. I don't remember the last time we had a 10x Maneater event, but considering this is the only banner character in that 10x pool, right, for the Epic Void champions, so that is the reason why I would say this event is potentially worth going for, right? So over to the rest of the champions here that are not really, I mean, they're decent as well, but not too much I want to talk about. But it's gonna be Corgan for the Ancient Shards and Sacred Shards. So Corgan is, I mean, he's okay. He's solid. He does provide some use here. He's got the veil that he can put on people. He's also got the heals. Like he's a decent champion, but nothing I would say is like absolutely worth going for or just be completely excited about, even though he is decent. Like the perfect veil here is pretty interesting actually, and the block debuffs here. There was a composition that I was trying to get done on the Iron Twins with this, I believe. I don't remember what it was. I think it's Iron Twins, but it didn't end up working out. But I mean, it's definitely usable, but I wouldn't say is like, oh, so excited about to summon for. So the next one we have here is Mausoleum Mage in the he's a Night Revenant, I believe. I think he's a Night Revenant, right? Mausoleum, no, he's an Undead. What am I saying? I was getting confused with the Renegade. So yeah, Mausoleum Mage is a fantastic support champion. So he does have a lot of buffs he brings to the table. He plays the block debuffs on your team, increased crit rate, increased defense, and he also has a cleanse, which is fantastic, and the heals along with it. So this guy is really great to pair along with a Seer, because that's a lot of buffs he's going to provide. And even in Faction Wars, he's a fantastic champion. Mausoleum Mage is a beast in Faction Wars for sure. He's also got this decreased speed here on the A1 that's really great against a boss, right? So very solid support champion. And the last one here we have is Sepulchre Sentinel. I think I'm saying that right? So Sepulchre Sentinel is one of the best attack down champions in the game, I would say, especially for an epic champion. So she does have a higher percentage of doing an attack down on the A1, even though it's a single hit. And she also provides a block debuff along with increased defense on AoE. And she also has something very unique here on her passive ability, which is you can completely block out of damage for 50% chance once she's fully booked. So it's only once per turn, but against clan boss, she is an absolute beast when it comes to protecting and whatnot. So she's really great there. You can run a 4/3 speed composition tune with her, and really great. So she also has the increased defense in all battles by 25%. Yeah, for those of you that are trying to get to Ultra Nightmare without an unkillable team, she's another viable option there, along with like, I mean, there was a really old school 4/3 composition with like Skull Crusher, Sepulchre Sentinel, Sandlash Survivor, Rosin, right? It's like there's one of those compositions. So she is an option there as well. But the grand prize here, I would say personally, I would say it is going to be the Maneater for those of you that are trying to get to the next level of getting to Ultra Nightmare and Clan Boss. So this is the reason why I say it's an absolute worth going for event if you are looking for a Maneater, because again, we're not going to have another 10x event with Maneater for a long time, I would say. So yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Are you going to be going for this event? I mean, most of us have to summon anyways, especially since there is a fragment summon going on, and we need to summon for the fragment summon or the summon rush points, right? So we're going to be summoning anyway. So maybe you could take this opportunity to summon for Maneater if you have some voice shards laying around. I'm definitely going to be summoning for him on my free-to-play account because I definitely want him. So those are my thoughts, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope you guys pull exactly what you're looking for. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoy my content, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video.